All right, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in our state legislature and why I was down at the State House earlier this week. I was lobbying for a bill called H.1343 that is currently in committee, and it is a bill that would really be advantageous to my patients with HMOs and also people who are looking to save money on prescriptions. Let me tell you a little bit about this bill and what its purpose is. So the bill has two arms to it. One is that it will prevent an HMO from blocking a patient from getting a referral from an out-of-network primary care doctor like myself. So that means if you are somebody with an HMO, then I would be able to make a referral for you to the orthopedic doctor, which right now I cannot. So that's a big deal, and we've already been seeing a lot of disruptions to people's health care as a result of some of these laws. Maine has a very similar law, and so Massachusetts is trying to basically have a similar type of deal. I'm very much in favor of this. This means that those of you with an HMO would not have to have a duplicate backup in-network primary care doctor. So that's one arm. The second arm is that it would allow doctors of all kinds to dispense medications directly from their office. The reason why that is helpful is, one, for convenience. So imagine you were in the office with your child and they had strep throat. I could give you a bottle of amoxicillin as you walk out the door, so it would save you that step from having to go to the pharmacy. Number two, I can order prescription medications from suppliers at significantly discounted wholesale prices, and I can pass those savings on to my patients, especially for just regular generic medications like cholesterol medicines, high blood pressure medicines, diabetes medicines. Those generics are pennies, and a lot of times the pharmacies have to mark them up in order to make money. So we could help to bypass some of that. And for those of you who are on multiple prescription medications, that adds up. So this would be a big win. Massachusetts is only one of 4 states in the country that does not allow doctors to dispense medications from their office. So this would be great. Now, let's talk a little bit about how the meetings went and where things stand. So right now, this bill has been sitting in committee for a long time. It's in the Financial Services Committee. We did meet with 2 of the key people that are leading this committee. One was Representative Tom Walsh. He's the one who introduced the bill and he is sponsoring it. And then the second was Senator Paul Feeney, who is one of the chairs of the Financial Services Committee. They were both wonderful and very supportive, and so they gave us some tips and some tricks about how to try to move this bill along and get it passed. The next step is that this bill is going to undergo a hearing. They think sometime probably in September or October. And at that time, I will probably go back to the State House and try to give testimony and support for this bill to go forward. And at that time, it would be really helpful to have actual patient testimonial and cases telling me what your stories are and why this would be helpful for you to have this law passed, and I can pass that along to them. So I will be in touch and let you all know when we get to that point. Once it goes through a hearing, they can decide as a committee whether they want to present it to the House floor to be voted on. So that's where that stands. It still would have to be approved through the Senate as well. So it's got multiple steps that it needs to take in order to get pushed through. While we were at the State House, we also met with Representative Jeff Roy. He is, I forget which district he's in, but one of my colleagues from Foxborough was there, and he is, I think, the representative for that district, and he signed on as a co-sponsor. The bill has lots of co-sponsors at this time, including Senator Mike Moore, who is our local senator from the Worcester area. And one of the things that they mentioned that would help this bill, get more momentum is to ask all of our local representatives and senators to please be willing to be a co-sponsor of the bill. That means that they're supporting it, they stand behind it, and that they would also like to see it pushed through. So one of the things I'll ask you to do is to write a letter to your local senator or local representative and ask them to co-sponsor this bill if it's important to you, and tell them why. They did mention to us that some of these templated type letters don't get as much weight as like a true, real, heartfelt email or call from you telling them why. So instead of me coming up with some template letter for you guys to all just sign, I would love for you to just follow the links that I'm going to give you to find your local representative's email address and send them an email. Ask them specifically why they should support this. They work for us, and we want them to hear from us as well. So that's what's been going on. I think I've brought you up to speed. I hope to get some support from as many of you as possible, because I think it's important, and I want to fight for DPC so that we're not limited in the types of patients that we can take in terms of their insurance coverage. So anyway, that's the scoop. Have a great day.